This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids.
What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Megas, and watch the EA presentation for Gamescom today. And as with the Microsoft, I didn't think there was much being shown there. Just retreaded old stuff for the most part. It's funny because you used to wait for these presentations, press conferences, to get some big reveal and stuff like that. But now that they're not doing traditional press conferences at Gamescom anymore, you don't really get much in that area. I'm still kind of surprised that EA didn't do a lot more than what they did, especially since they're in Europe. And like how they started out with the FIFA 18 trailer, and they didn't really talk about it that much. Normally, you get a pretty huge presentation on FIFA 18 at Gamescom because they're in Europe. It is soccer, the preferred sport in most countries in Europe. So you thought they would give more details on FIFA Ultimate Team, the legends that would be in the game, what have you. But you didn't get any of that. You actually just got just a little bit of a briefing after the trailer, and then they moved on to the Battlefront 2 gameplay, where they showed basically more of the space combat. They actually showed you space combat gameplay, so you can get an idea of what it's like to play in space, even though for the most part the mode is the same as the original Battlefront, where it's basically just, aerial combat with fighters. You will be able to use those fighters in space as well as in atmospheric battlegrounds. So they showed the space one that you saw in the trailer, and it was pretty interesting because you're starting to get a more Battlefield feel from Battlefront 2, to be quite honest, because a lot of things now are really objective based. They were in the first one, but I don't know, they just seem to have their own identity to me. This just really felt like something that I've played in a Battlefield game before, because you had 3 stages. First stage was you had to defeat attacking cruisers. Once you got through that, you had to knock out these generators. Once you got through that, you attacked the coupling on the Star Destroyer, and then once the coupling went down, it would give you time to attack their engines to blow up the ship. And then when the coupling went back up, you do it again until you put enough damage on the engine to destroy it. Why am I so tired right now? I don't know. Anyway, so it looks cool. It looks clean. I like that they have some more fighters. They showed like they had a Y-Wing, and they had another class of Imperial fighter, TIE fighter. They showed some of the hero classes, like you got to see Darth Maul, you got to see the Millennium Falcon, you got to see Dameron Poe. Why did I say Cameron? It's Dameron Poe, right? Yeah. Why did I say Cameron? I don't know. But anyway, so that was cool to see, but again, not a whole lot. You just got to see one fight with a couple of YouTubers and stuff like that, Twitch players, and boom, move on to the next. Talked about Need for Speed. Well, not really, because they just showed them, introduced, hey, this car is in Need for Speed. Okay, November 10th, get to play Need for Speed Payback. Okay, cool. The Sims coming to console in November, and a new Sims DLC pack, Cats and Dogs for PC on November 10th. They talked about the game, is it Fee? I forget how to say it. How that's going to be, of course, still coming out on Xbox One, PlayStation, I believe PC as well. But now it's coming to the Nintendo Switch, so that's pretty cool. They talked about Battlefield 1, of course. They have a new competitive mode they're dropping called Incursions, which is a 5v5 mode. There will be vehicles in the mode, so you can do 5v5 with vehicles. I guess now they're trying to find a way to shift Battlefield to a competitive scene. You know, seeing all these other games do it, build these esport teams and all that. Esports is making a lot of money, y'all, and it's going to be like the wave that you're going to see a lot of games with any type of competitive multiplayer where player versus player is involved. They're just going to try to find a way to figure out how to shoehorn in probably some type of competitive if they can. Hopefully not everybody will do this, but you know, with first person shooters you kind of expect it, I guess. We'll see how that plays out. The alpha is available now, so you could sign up for that and you could try it out. So if you want to try out the alpha for that, by all means, do your thing. They also talked about the In the Name of the Czar DLC that's dropping soon, and they showed some gameplay of that. And then they, of course, as they always do with Battlefield, which is why I don't know why I ever bought Battlefield at launch, because it's kind of a fool's errand. There's the Battlefield 1 Revolution Edition, which includes the main Battlefield game and the season pass, which is normally what, $50, $60. You get that as well in the package. So you get the main game and you get all the DLC, including those that are still on their way, which is 2 more for the $60 package. Or is it 50? I think it's 50 now. So that's kind of a rip to those people who support the game from launch. But we all know they do it every time, and I don't know why I set myself up for it with Battlefield. I always know that shit's coming. But it is what it is. And that was pretty much it. They didn't really spend much time. You actually spent more time watching the goddamn counter than you really spent watching the whole presentation, in my opinion. But if there was something amiss, please let me know, because I don't think I missed anything. I mean, it pretty much was just that. You know, they really kept it bare bones, bare minimum. I think at this point, EA is probably done promoting whatever games they're coming out with, because after Battlefront 2, that's pretty much it for their calendar. I think that's the latest game that they have dropping this year. So, you know, EA didn't really bring a lot. But again, as I said earlier, it's starting to become a reality that Gamescom is a better place to come for gamers to come play and see games and to get impressions, new impressions on stuff that we already know about, than for the reveals, because the major companies aren't doing major press conferences anymore and giving people, you know, new stuff to gravitate to. Not saying that there's never any new stuff at Gamescom, but it's just not as big a venue for the announcement. Sony's probably going to be doing Tokyo Game Show to do any more announcements that they need to do before the Sony experience, where they'll probably do a lot of announcements. Microsoft, they don't really have anything as far as their own thing to do. And even if they did, they don't really have a lot of first-party games to announce. They will just maybe have some exclusives to announce for the rest of the year from other companies, like third-party exclusives maybe. Nintendo, of course, is always going to do their direct, so you'll always get something from Nintendo. But that's just about it. So, yeah. Pretty light. Pretty light. Surprised I got 9 minutes out of this. Anyway, as always, you guys feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Makers, and I'm out. Deuces.